Now let's stay with the Daily Wire here. Let's watch this clip, which is the official trailer for season 2 of Debunked with Ben Shapiro.
You look at guys like Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos and
Scrooge McDuck.
Exactly. When it comes to taxes, the rich do not pay their fair share, man.
It's a familiar scene.
Wait. He has taken the format of Adam Ruins Everything, hasn't he? That's what this show is a ripoff of, right? If you guys haven't watched Adam Ruins Everything, this is like one of my favorite fucking shows. But like this seems like what he's ripping off.
Isn't it? A liberal friend, coworker, cousin home from college uses your dinner party to serve up a word salad of leftist mantras. Don't suffer through the bad political theater. Join me every week, and in 15 minutes or less, I will arm you with the facts to counter the most common leftist claims, so you can stand up for what you believe.
Well, what is a fair share? By nearly every measure, the U.S. has the most progressive system of taxation in the world. I mean, the top 40% of earners pay 95% of all federal income tax.
We have one of the lowest tax rates in the world of the industrialized countries.
So they actually pay more than their share of income. So what part exactly?
Wrong. As Warren Buffett pointed out, his secretary paid an effective higher tax rate than he did. But they're obscure. Oh, well, the rich people are paying 95% of all taxes. They got the money, dumb shit. Yeah, rich people should pay the majority of all taxes. Idiot.
Exactly do you think is unfair?
I think they should just pay more.
Bravo. Become an expert.
That's an example of a straw man, where they create a straw man of a leftist. No, clearly if I was sitting at that table, I would have had a much better comeback. Right-wingers never try to steel man their arguments. This is one of the reasons why you will see on this show, I want to play right-wing clips, play them in their entirety, and deal with their arguments, because I want to steel man my arguments.
Debunked, Season 2, only on the Daily Wire.
Debunked.
Okay.
I guess it's on their subscription. Oh, hold on. We got one more joke here.
Okay, as a mathematician and a physicist, I think I'm pretty qualified to say.
Yeah, a mathematician and a physicist wouldn't have been that stupid and would have had a much better comeback. But after Ben Shapiro acts so smug, proved that he could shut down any leftist, let's watch this video of him getting shut down by a liberal. He says he worked for Elizabeth Warren, so that's why I had to call him a liberal. So, this is what is the Young American Foundation? They sponsor all these stupid-ass conferences, and they send people like Ben Shapiro, my friend Jake Jacobs, around to schools. So he is taking a question from somebody in the audience.
History has consequences. Of course, that's true. That's not wokeness.
Yeah.
That is not wokeness. What wokeness suggests is that fundamental institutions in American society
it doesn't.
Yes, it 100% does.
I ran Elizabeth Warren's campaign. I helped organize her volunteers around here. I am a representative of wokeness.
Okay, well,
and that's just, this is all it is.
Well,
when I went to go get my first tattoo, the guy had lightning bolts and 88s tattooed on his neck. And as a Jewish person, that's really messed up. It's basically a threat.
There are racist people who exist. The argument that you're making, and I'm going to close with this because
there's a lot of them in your audience, Ben.
I don't really want to get. Just hold up a second. I let you get out your arguments, and now it's time for me to respond because I let you say the full argument.
Okay, I'll let you respond, but
no, not but. Now's my turn.
You are not characterizing what I'm saying accurately.
Now it's my turn. Your definition is inaccurate. The reason your
I love it. I love this. The dude is so calm, and Ben Shapiro is so frustrated.
definition is inaccurate because any sentient human being would acknowledge that history has consequences.
Right.
But if the idea is, but that's not what wokeism is. Wokeism is a different thing. Wokeism.
No, I think we didn't get this full clip. You didn't hear the kid's question. He was talking about generational trauma in regards to the Holocaust. And Ben Shapiro agreed that that was a thing, and then he related it back to slavery.
Suggests that all inequalities of today are attributable to not only historic injustices, but also continuing injustices in the now, and that all disparity is attributable to discrimination.
Like that, but a conservative. A conservative is the only person. And I want to know why. Why is it that conservatives are the only people who define it like that? Why are conservatives?
Because they're straw manning us.
Okay. So we're gonna have to stop here because this is going nowhere. But
what's up?
I'm gonna have to stop with this with you because this is going nowhere. All I'm going to say is this. To sum up,
I just am trying to understand your perspective. Just one more second.
On a fundamental level, you're shifting definitions to avoid the consequences of your own argument. And if the idea is,
oh, see, they're cheering for cancel culture. Remember when the dude was in our chat earlier, he's like, "Oh, well, if you ban me, that's stifling my free speech. This is stifling his free speech."
Final point. And final point. If you're going to hold on, if you are also, just final point to sum up there.
I wish it went on longer. I wish I'd found a longer clip of that. I enjoyed that very much. Damn. I should have went and found the whole fucking thing. Ah. You have to watch it in 2 minutes. All of Ben Shapiro's anti-woke tirades are just destroyed. Oh, okay. The Daily Wire. You watch the actual entire clip. The story ends a bit differently, doesn't it, Jason? Well done, bud. So, I like to still man my arguments. Here is the full 5-minute clip. Let's watch the whole damn thing.
From Holocaust survivors, or are you a Jewish family that didn't?
So my great-great-grandparents arrived here. A lot of our extended family was killed in the Holocaust, but our immediate family.
Your great-great-grandparents, but not your grandparents.
Right.
Oh, do you have friends whose grandparents were Holocaust survivors or anything like that?
Of course, many of them. Yeah, I've helped write memoirs of Holocaust survivors.
Yeah. Their families are kind of messed up, right? Like, my family is very messed up.
I mean, if you go through a trauma like the Holocaust, I would imagine
they teach that trauma between generations. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, trauma very often in a lot of circumstances is passed down. I mean, I know some kids of Holocaust survivors who turned out fantastic and some who didn't. I mean,
yeah. Okay, so you are officially woke. That is what wokeness is about. It's like, people's grandparents or their great-grandparents were slaves.
Well, it's okay. No, it's okay. Guys,
fuck you! I'm talking.
Guys, I actually want to hear. I want to hear.
No,
it's okay. It's okay. I want to hear. Let's at least hear the argument. Let's hear it. Let's hear it. Go.
What? He wants to hear me.
I do want to hear it. It's fine. Let him go. Let's hear it.
Come on.
Explain how that's woke.
So, I mean, the whole thing is like, let's see. So during Silent Calvin Coolidge's administration, do you know about like the Great Mississippi Flood back in the 1930s?
I understand that American history is filled with racial evil.
Yeah. And that causes some intergenerational trauma, which affects people's ability to be,
so let me
effective, things like that.
Fine. So let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Why? So if the idea is that history has consequences, of course that's true. That's not wokeness.
Yeah.
That is not wokeness. What wokeness suggests is that fundamental institutions in American society
are so... No, it doesn't.
Yes, it 100% does.
I ran Elizabeth Warren's campaign. I helped organize her volunteers around here. I am a representative of wokeness.
Okay, well,
and that's just, this is all it is.
Well,
when I went to go get my first tattoo, the guy had lightning bolts and 88s tattooed on his neck. And as a Jewish person, that's really messed up. It's basically a threat.
There are racist people who exist. The argument that you're making, and I'm going to close with this because this is going in weird directions, and I don't really want to.
No, it's not
I don't really want to get. Just hold up a second. I let you get out your arguments, and now it's time for me to respond because I let you say the full argument.
Okay, I'll let you respond, but
no, not but. Now's my turn.
You are not.
No, Monty, I'm still manning my arguments by making sure that I properly represent the other side of the debate. I am still manning myself against their arguments.
characterizing what I'm saying accurately.
Now it's my turn. Your definition is inaccurate. The reason your definition is inaccurate is because any sentient human being would acknowledge that history has consequences.
Right.
But if the idea is, but that's not what wokeism is. Wokeism is a different thing. Wokeism suggests that all inequalities of today are attributable to not only historic injustices, but also continuing injustices in the now, and that all disparity is attributable to discrimination.
Like that, but a conservative. A conservative is the only person. And I want to know why. Why is it that conservatives are the only people who define it like that? Why are conservatives the only people?
Okay, so we're gonna have to stop here because this is going nowhere. But
what's up?
I'm gonna have to stop with this with you because this is going nowhere. All I'm going to say is this. To sum up,
I just am trying to understand your perspective. Just one more second. On a fundamental level, you're shifting definitions to avoid the consequences of your own argument. And if the idea is, final point, if you are going to hold on, if you are also, just final point to sum up there. Final point to sum.
I can follow that.
Yeah,
but,
one more. I just want to make honestly. I want to make one final point to sum up there. If the idea is that traumas of the past invariably bleed down into the present, that does not explain why certain groups that have been historically not only marginalized but slaughtered in mass genocide are some of the most successful groups in our society. So if the idea is that past trauma always equals current inequality, or that my actions in, say, robbing a convenience store are attributable to bad actions that happened in Alabama in 1930, the answer to that is no. Don't rob the convenience store. The only way
Once again, he created a straw man.
Make good decisions. What people on the left don't like to talk about is actual solutions. What they like to do is
Core, that's a very good point.
60 years ago and blame those for failures to solve them now.
So that didn't change anything. He still continued the same straw man. No, you don't still man other people's arguments. You don't buttress other people's arguments. Present them fairly and still man your own arguments.